Hi everyone, this is Ms. Granger. In this video we're going to go over the Unit 5 Summative Assessment, the directions, the examples, and more information on how you will be graded. So we studied the Industrial Revolution in this unit, and here is the description of your task. Your goal is to show your understanding of how making connections between developments and innovations encourages ingenuity. You are an artificial intelligence bot creator. They're all the rage right now. Your audience are students who want to find connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. You will create a reference guide about the Industrial Revolution that both describes and makes connections between 15 different concepts. You'll see underneath the directions on the one side and the assessment criteria on the other side. Let's go over the assessment criteria first. The assessment criteria is how you will be graded by your teacher. You're going to be graded on criteria A, knowing and understanding. You're going to use terminology in context. You're going to be graded on criteria C, communicating. You're going to communicate information and ideas using an appropriate style for the audience and purpose. And you're going to be graded on criteria D, thinking critically. Discuss concepts, issues, models, visual representations, and theories. On the left-hand side, you'll see the directions. So let's go through the directions so you know how to complete this task. Number 1, you will first work with your teacher to select your 15 terms from your A through Z chart. You're going to write them on the next page in the numbers. Now, some of these will be words that you choose yourself, and some of the words will be words that your teacher chooses for you. So be prepared to not choose all the terms, but have your teacher choose some as well. They may be words that you put in your A through Z chart, and they may be words from the lesson that your teacher would like you to include. When you're working with your teacher, you're going to be filling in this rough draft workspace. So you'll be filling in your choice. You'll choose and write 8 terms from your A through Z chart here. When you're listing them, remember that you should not have the exact same order as someone else in class. They should be in a different order on this side. Your teacher will choose 7 terms from your A through Z chart, or they'll assign you some terms that they think you should be using. They're going to write the words here. Let's go back up to the directions. You're going to rewrite the words in the order that your teacher directs. These will form your connections. Here's what that looks like. You'll have your choice of words on the left here, your teacher's choice of words in the center, and then underneath it will say my word pattern. Your teacher is going to tell you the number order of each word. So they'll tell you, for example, number 7 will be your first word, then number 11 will be your second word, then number 3, and so on. So they'll tell you the pattern, and you will then fill in the words in order that your teacher tells you. This will be random. In addition to these words, you are also required to use these specific history words. You're going to use them all throughout your connection writing, at least once. You can use variations of the words, so the noun form, verb, past tense, adjective, however you want to kind of conjugate these terms, that's fine. Let's go back to the directions. Number 3. On your final draft page, describe in writing what the terms are and explain how they are connected in the context of the Industrial Revolution. Your goal is to summarize the information and also make an accurate and original connection that is related to our topic, the Industrial Revolution. Let's look down at this rough draft page and check out this final box. In the bottom right, it says Final Draft. Here's some information you should know. You're going to do your final draft on one of 3 paper choices. One of the choices is a larger piece of paper, 11 inches by 17 inches, and you'll have all the connections on one side of that larger piece of paper. The second option is 8.5 by 11. These are all the connections on one side of a regular sized piece of paper. And then the last choice is, again, a regular size paper, 8.5 by 11. You'd have 8 connections on the front and 7 connections on the back. Here's what your final draft paper would look like, no matter what size you choose. in the kind of smaller boxes on the left, this is where you'll put your terms in the order that your teacher told you to put them in. So whatever number order, you put all the terms on the left. Then, in the middle of each term, you're explaining the connection between the two. So you'll see like the top term here, you're connecting the top term here to the term underneath it by writing in this box. You'll do that for all of your terms. You'll make connections between the two that are right next to each other or on top of each other. So this is what the larger piece of paper looks like, and the smaller piece of paper, the regular size paper. If you're choosing the regular paper but front and back, it's the same idea. I've just kind of split it up so it's not so tight on the page. So again, the term on the left, connection on the right, and then the same thing on the other side of the piece of paper. All right, let's look back at the directions here. I want you to remember to consider, or you must do the following things. Your writing should be original. You are not using an actual AI bot to generate your writing. You are the AI bot. You are the one making this connection so that people can reference it. Second, you must use all of the required history terms on the next page, at least once throughout your summative. Be sure to underline or distinguish them so that they stand out. We'll talk about that more in a moment. At the bottom of the directions it says, want to earn a 7 or an 8? Consider the following. Complete more connections between the terms. You can either do this by adding more terms or adding additional connections in some creative way. The second way you might consider earning a 7 or an 8 is adding some kind of appealing artistic element that really sets your summative apart from someone else's. I'm talking really sort of over the top in a good way, not just like a cute little colorful border and that's it. Something that really makes your writing and project stand out. Finally, a way to earn a 7 or an 8 is to do something creative and extra. You are the AI bot, as it were, and you get to figure out how you can make it the most interesting and excessive. So you're making it extra, over the top, but in a good way. The final thing I'd like to point out is on all the words that you're going to use, your choice, your teacher's choice, and the required words, at the bottom of each it says use these words, underline these words in one color on your final draft. So I should see all of your choice terms in one color, all of the teacher's choice terms in a different color, and all of the required history words in a third color. So somehow you are distinguishing all of the words that you're using. On Google Classroom, you should see the copy of the grading rubric, how you're going to be graded. So the top score of a 7 or 8 is up here, and then it kind of goes down from there. At the bottom of the rubric, you'll see specific tasks and definitions. These are the specific things that your teacher will grade you on when they're looking in each category. Please note that since you are handwriting this task, we're really looking to see that your handwriting is legible. That means easy to read. All right, good luck on your summative, and please reach out to your teacher if you have any questions.